A Modest Exodus by Taylor Merchant. Exterior driveway afternoon. Black clouds rumble with thunder in the distance. The sky is filled with gray clouds that cast a dim blue tint on the area. Rain trickles down the windows of a rustic yellow school bus as its tires screech to a halt at the end of an eroded gravel driveway. A tiny white house and porch sits at the end of the driveway, decorated with filthy black smudges. Ashley, a thin 15-year-old girl of average height dressed in blue jeans and a black t-shirt, descends down the steps of the bus into the pouring rain with her books in her arms. She bends her torso over the books and dashes for the house with her back hunched forward. She rushes up the stairs of the porch. One of the stairs snaps under her foot, making her spill her books and papers on the wet porch. She stands up, quickly gathers her books, and enters the front door. Interior living room area afternoon. The walls are painted with a faded green hue and clusters of dirty clothes are scattered throughout the stained carpet. Water from Ashley's drenched and knotted hair drips to the floor. Barbara's long, pink nail taps on the receiver of the phone.
I don't respond well to that, sir.
Ashley tiptoes over the assorted clothes toward an orange couch and sets her books down. The raging winds violently sway tree limbs in an overhead window. Dim blue light is emitted from the above window, which casts a blue tint throughout the room.
I need to start working again.
Ashley's mom, Barbara, stands behind the counter that separates the living room area from the kitchen area as she talks to a corded phone. Barbara is an extremely skinny, 42-year-old woman with bronze skin, bleach blonde hair, and makeup that fails to hide her wrinkles. She wears a white t-shirt and short shorts.
Well, the check's gonna bounce if you don't give me time to put money in the bank. I'll just take it to you.
Barbara's long pink nail taps on the receiver of the phone. Ashley begins to pick up some clothes and pile them in a corner. A baby's toy rattles as she moves a shirt. She picks up the rattle. She walks over to a wooden baby's crib in the corner of the living room. The crib is empty.
Where's Daniel?
Could you get my smoke stuff?
Ashley hurries toward the couch next to the crib and slides her hand into the side cushion. She pauses, shifts her eyes in Barbara's direction, and slowly slides her hand back to pull a pack of cigarettes from behind some papers with A's written on them. She tosses the pack on the counter near her mother.
Where'd you get these?
Couch cushion.
You just knew they were there.
Ashley reaches out and grabs the receiver from Barbara's ear.
Where's Daniel? You were supposed to watch him.
Barbara turns away from Ashley, facing a hallway entrance at the back of the kitchen area.
He's fine. What's in there?
She points toward a closet at the other end of the living room. Ashley's eyes widen as she dashes toward the closet door.
What were you thinking?
Don't be so melodramatic. I was on the phone with your father, and the little rat kept screaming, so I just put him in there to drown out the noise.
As she approaches the door, her eyes squint, her nose crinkles, and her palm shields her nostrils.
Maybe if you changed his diaper, he wouldn't scream so much. Can't you smell that?
Barbara stretches the cord further away from the living room. Her conversation is indistinct. She attempts to slide the door open, but the door doesn't budge. She pulls with her arms outstretched and her body leaning away from the door, but the door opens only slightly.
Daniel, are you in there, sweetie?
A muffled cry comes from behind the door. She looks at the bottom of the door as the sliding door is jammed on the tracks. Her eyes become glassy as she frantically jerks and bangs against the door. Her banging is followed by loud crashing and a screaming from behind the closet door.
Daniel!
Ashley is temporarily frozen with widened, glassy eyes. She quickly wedges her hand through the narrow opening and pushes, but it does not budge. She wedges her foot in the crack and pushes with her legs, but it catches on the tracks again. She abruptly rises to her feet and approaches her mom. Daniel shrieks louder through the crack in the closet door.
Where's the broom?
I didn't know we ever had one.
Ashley looks around the living room and finds a two-piece curtain rod poking from behind the orange couch. She sprints toward the couch, grabs the rod, and returns to the door.
Hold on, Danny.
She slides the curtain rod into the opening and uses the rod as leverage to open the door. As she pulls back, the rod splits in two pieces and breaks. Ashley falls backward onto her back. She takes the piece of rod and jams it in at the base of the door as the door meets the tracks. She rears back her foot and rams the side of the door repeatedly. The door snaps on the tracks and slides open. Ashley swiftly stands and rushes toward Daniel. A shelf lies tilted over Daniel's seat as crushed boxes and clothes are scattered in a cluttered mess. Ashley unbuckles Daniel's seat and picks up the shrieking infant. She places her thumb under a purple bruise on Daniel's head.
You don't deserve our money.
The phone chimes as Barbara slams the receiver down to hang up.
Rex is gonna throw a fit.
Ashley stares in her mother's direction with glassy eyes and clenching jaw. She gently bounces her infant brother up and down on her shoulder. Daniel's crying settles into short, whining grunts.
We're getting out of here tonight.
Ashley storms down the hallway to the left of the closet with Daniel resting on her shoulder and turns into an open room. Interior Ashley's room, afternoon. Ashley enters the room with Daniel drooling on her shoulder. The room is relatively empty except for a bed and a dresser. She lays him down on the bed gently and briefly tickles his foot. She proceeds to her closet door. She drags a travel bag out from the closet, unzips the top, and begins to throw her clothes from the dresser into the bag. The dresser drawers screech every time Ashley opens them, and Daniel begins to cry. She glances at Daniel as her eyes become less intense. She gives a smirk and calmly steps toward the bed. She sits down by him and holds her index finger up by his little tight fist.
I'm sorry, Danny. I didn't mean to upset you.
Daniel shifts his eyes toward the finger and grasps it within his short, stubby hand. Daniel giggles and kicks his feet furiously while clenching his fist around Ashley's finger.
Let go, hon. I'll be right back.
She tickles him under the arm and wrestles her finger free. She props her pillow against Daniel's right side so he doesn't fall off the bed. She gets a smaller bag from the closet. Daniel giggles and follows her out of the room with his eyes for as long as he can. Interior kitchen area, afternoon. Ashley creeps into the kitchen area slowly so to enter as her mother leaves. The kitchen ceiling has black splotches of mold. The sink is full of stained dishes and an orange light that flickers above. Ashley squats down to the cabinets directly below the sink. The doors creak as she opens them with both hands. She reaches to the back of the cabinet and slowly begins placing bottles in the small bag.
You still in my snakes again?
Ashley jolts up from the cabinet and spins around to face Barbara. Ashley's neck is tense and her body is stiff.
I'm not a thief.
What are you doing?
I was just about to wash them.
Ashley steps in front of the bag on the floor to hide it. A revving engine roars from outside and suddenly stops.
Don't waste our water bill on a few bottles that no one uses.
Rex slings the screen door open. He is dressed in a beige button shirt with a badge sewn in chest that reads Rex in cursive letters. He is a big 48-year-old man with deep wrinkles, hardened skin, jet black hair, and a grizzled face. He is about 6 feet 8 inches tall. Ashley's widened eyes focus only on Rex as he stomps through the living room and kitchen. Her body is motionless. She exhales a slight whimper. Barbara is scowling at her and shouting indistinctly while putting a TV dinner in the microwave. Rex passes Ashley and Barbara with only a grunt and treads down the hallway at the back of the kitchen toward the TV room. He sits down in an armchair and watches a small television. The back of the chair resembles a silhouette against the blue light emitted from the television. Barbara follows him shortly after. Ashley relaxes her body and exhales slowly. She gathers the bottles, pacifiers, and diapers in her small bag. She darts for her room silently. A single bottle lies on the tiled floor near the sink. Interior Ashley's room, afternoon. Ashley carefully places the baby supplies in her travel bag. She looks over at Daniel.
This isn't enough. Where's the baby formula or baby powder? They don't even have baby clothes.
Daniel's fat cheeks press against the saliva-covered toy as it rattles. He smiles at her with his thick cheeks.
You don't know how expensive you are, do you? Right there, handsome.
Interior kitchen area, afternoon. The kitchen is empty. A blue light flickers from the doorway at the back of the kitchen. Indistinct bickering and banging noises resonate from the TV room through the doorway. Her mother's purse is sitting on the right side of the kitchen, opposite of the sink and cabinets. Ashley stalks her way toward the purse while shifting her eyes from the purse to the hallway adjacent to it. Ashley advances cautiously closer to the counter. She looks straight down the short hallway to the TV room. A smacking sound followed by a thud booms from the TV room.
I'm sorry, honey. Please, no more.
Ashley's eyes shift from the purse to the bottle across the room near the cabinet. She bites her lip as she glances toward the TV room. Ashley stares at the bottle for a second and prances toward the bottle silently. Unbeknownst to her, a cockroach crawls on the purse.
You will learn when to be silent.
Ashley grasps the bottle by the nipple and darts back across the room toward the purse. Lightning suddenly crashes and Daniel cries from Ashley's room. She reaches out for the purse. However, she hesitates and jerks backward at the sight of a huge greasy roach wriggling its antennas at her. The baby bottle shatters on the tile floor.
Don't make that kid shut up.
Ashley turns around to face Barbara, her eyes bruised, swollen, and twitching. Barbara squints at Ashley, who has the purse in her hand.
Rex says for you to stop making so much racket.
You will. Are you okay?
Know your place.
Barbara slowly returns to the TV room toward a standing silhouette of Rex. Ashley darts back to her room. Interior Ashley's room, afternoon. Ashley searches in her mom's purse and pulls out a thin wallet. She opens the wallet and grins. She searches in the front pocket of the purse and finds a pack of cigarettes, which she puts in her back pocket. As she drops the purse into her travel bag, a dark figure fills the doorway to her room. She gasps and immediately becomes still. Her eyes widen and her body tenses.
Storm's getting worse. We'll be in the basement.
Ashley's eyes focus on the keys dangling from Rex's waist. She sits on the bed for a second. The pouring rain and howling wind roars outside.
We're coming to.
She grabs Daniel and rests him on her shoulder. The rattle stays on her bed. Interior basement, dusk. The The basement is extremely dark. Ashley descends the staircase leading toward the basement with Daniel in her arms. Daniel is whining. A dim yellow light illuminates the room. The floor is of gray concrete and the walls are made of gray bricks. The overhead light accentuates Rex and Barbara's wrinkles into deep creases. Rex approaches Ashley and forces a pile of junk into Ashley's arms, making her put Daniel on the ground. Rex pulls an old radio out of the spot where the junk was previously and starts to mess with the dial. Only fuzz and distorted radio stations emit from the old radio. Barbara picks Daniel up, who immediately cries and sits down on a rickety wooden chair. She bounces him up and down on her knee. Barbara's eyes swollen shut. The end of her cigarette glows in the basement's dark atmosphere. Ashley drops the junk onto the floor.
Let me see Daniel.
He's fine.
Daniel begins to shriek sporadically. Ashley peers through the dim basement intently as she squints. She notices that Barbara has one arm wrapped around Daniel. In the hand of that arm is a lit cigarette which keeps burning Daniel's leg at the end of each bounce. Daniel shrieks after each time. Barbara isn't paying attention as she looks off toward Rex's position.
Torturing him.
I am not. This cries too much. I don't see how you can stand it.
Shut that kid up, or he's going out in the storm.
Let me hold him. He'll calm down for me.
Barbara scowls at Ashley as she hands her Daniel. Ashley gently touches her finger below each cigarette burn and rests Daniel on her shoulder. Daniel continues to shriek in pain.
Shut him up, or I will.
Ashley stares over at Rex's keys.
You want to get out of here, sweetie?
Ashley, Daniel looks at Ashley but still cries.
Give me your keys. It'll cheer him up.
Oh yeah, that should do it. He just wants a little toy.
Fine, here.
Rex tosses the key on the concrete floor in front of Ashley. She lays him in her lap and dangles the keys in front of Daniel's face but out of reach. Ashley plays with Daniel until finally letting him grab the keys. Daniel is grinning and has stopped crying. Ashley lets Daniel grab her index finger. Chill bumps grow on Ashley's arm. Daniel begins to wheeze and cough. He sneezes violently. Ashley looks over at Rex.
I need to go upstairs and get a blanket.
She starts to quickly move toward the staircase with Daniel.
Hold on a second. Leave Daniel with Barbara.
So she can brand him with cigarettes? No, I don't think so.
Put that out. Follow me. I think there are some more blankets by the staircase.
Ashley slowly hands Daniel the keys to Barbara. Daniel begins to whine and grunt in between coughs. Ashley follows the large silhouette of Rex up the staircase. Halfway up the stairs, Daniel gives a loud cough. As Ashley turns to look toward Daniel, Rex abruptly grasps Ashley's arm with one hand and pushes her into the wall with the other. His large hand pins Ashley against the bricks. Ashley shrieks until Rex lets go of her arm with the other hand and motions for her to be quiet. The deep creases created by the yellow light mimic a slight sneer on Rex's face.
I know what you did and what you're doing.
What do you mean?
Rex, still pinning her with one palm, takes his other hand and punches a spot on the wall next to Ashley. Ashley shrieks again.
I know you've been stealing our stuff. I saw you.
Ashley is trembling, but she furrows her brow and grits her teeth.
Yeah, prove it.
Rex slowly takes a hand and slips it behind her to touch her lower back. Ashley's eyes become glassy. Her stomach gives no sign of breathing and her entire body is stiff. Rex slides his hand down her back pocket and his thumb into her waistband. Rex pulls back a pack of cigarettes from Ashley's pocket. Ashley sighs. He tilts the pack and pulls a single cigarette and a lighter from the top opening between his index finger and thumb while holding the pack with his other fingers. Rex drops the pack on the stairs once the lighter and the cigarette are all the way out. He places the cigarette between Ashley's lips. She remains motionless. He lights the cigarette with the lighter, tosses the lighter, and steals back the cigarette. Rex takes a long drag from the cigarette and blows the smoke in Ashley's face.
Believe me yet?
What does having cigarettes weird?
It proves that you're a thief. I know what I saw.
Daniel coughs continuously. Ashley peeks over Rex's figure to see Barbara shake Daniel and pound him hard on the back. Tornado sirens quietly blare in the distance from outside.
Okay, but it's not what you think. Mom told me to pack. She said we were moving away tomorrow night.
Rex presses tighter against Ashley's chest. She can barely breathe.
You said you knew what you saw. Then why do you think Barbara just let me take her purse to my room?
Rex looks in Barbara's direction. The sirens are there louder from the top of the stairs.
We were going to leave you to live in your rotten house alone. We were doing it right under your nose the whole time.
The sirens become louder. Barbara sits Daniel down on the floor.
Do you hear that?
Rex jerks his head to face Ashley again.
You better not be lying to me.
He removes his palm and lets Ashley free. She instantly collapses to her knees. She coughs profusely and pulls her chest. Rex stomps down the stairs toward Barbara, clutches her hair, and pulls her to the back of the darkened basement. Barbara begins to cry. Ashley gradually limps toward Daniel and grabs him in her arms. She bends down and picks up Rex's keys. She She then audibly rushes up the staircase. Rex charges from the darkness toward Ashley and Daniel. Ashley ascends the staircase, slams the door, and locks the deadbolt just as Rex stomps up the last stairs. He bangs against the door.
You won't get far.
Interior living room area 9. Ashley quickly scurries to her room and gathers her travel bag. She hands Daniel his rattle. As she passes the door to the basement to get to the living room area, Rex rambunctiously pounds against the door until the frame of the door starts to chip and splinter. The sirens blare deafeningly loud as Ashley approaches the front door. She places the keys in her mouth and opens the front door. Exterior driveway 9. Black clouds fill the sky and the yellow light from the kitchen window reflects off the hood of Rex's truck. Immediately, a gust of wind swings the screen door open. Ashley sprints down the porch while dodging the broken stair. She runs toward the passenger side and chunks her soaked travel bag in the floorboard. She sets Daniel propped upright in the passenger seat. Ashley maneuvers around the front of the truck and slips in the mud. Ashley opens the driver's side door of Rex's pickup. Ashley puts the key in the ignition and turns the key. It won't start. Her face distorts and her teeth clench as she violently pounds the steering wheel.
Come on.
Interior living room area 9. Rex breaks the basement door open by shattering the door frame. He follows the sound of the sirens to the front door. He rushes toward the open screen door, which swings in his way. Exterior driveway 9. Rex storms out of the house and down the stairs. He falls when his foot misses the broken stair and lands in the mud. Ashley grabs Daniel and runs for some nearby bushes. The keys are in the ignition. Rex rises up from the muck. He is covered in mud from head to toe. The dim yellow light creases a dark silhouette that drips and oozes black mud. Rex is a dark, hulking figure of ooze and sludge. He repeatedly attempts to swipe the mud from his eyes with his left forearm as he treads toward the truck. Rex briefly shifts in their direction after Daniel's toy rattles between the sirens. Ashley grabs it from Daniel and throws it away. Rex turns toward the truck again. Daniel begins to cry. Ashley puts a nearby vine in his hand. Daniel shakes it furiously. The bushes all shake in the violent winds. Rex continues toward the truck.
I'll rip you limb from limb. You can't escape me. I'm the boogeyman. I'm the Titan, Kronos, and I eat little children. And I will swallow you both and imprison you within my belly.
Ashley sets Daniel down in a patch of leaves and slowly crawls from the bushes. Rex blindly fumbles to the truck. She grabs a nearby limb and stalks toward Rex's dark figure. She paces close to Rex and swipes him over the head. He falls into the mud. Ashley hurries over to the bushes and grabs Daniel, but he won't let go of the vine. Ashley quickly tries to pull the vine and break it, but she cannot. Rex begins to move. She tickles Daniel under the arm and he immediately releases the vine. Ashley locks the doors. Rex disappears for a moment. She grabs the key in the ignition and cranks the engine until it starts. Rex swings a large tree limb into the driver's side window. Ashley tries to put the truck in reverse, but the gear shifter won't move. She scrambles briefly until she finds the emergency brake. Rex now breaks the window with another swing of the limb. Shattered glass falls in Ashley's lap as she shrieks. Rex reaches in to grab Ashley.
You won't escape. I will find you.
She leans away from him, puts the truck in reverse, braces Daniel with her right arm, and slams on the accelerator. Ashley swerves the truck in a semicircle to straighten out and drives off. Rex chases them from behind. Exterior, open road, night. The sirens still roar but get quieter by the second. The rain is beginning to become less harsh. The winds are growing calmer. Rays of sunlight peek through the gray clouds. Ashley glances over at Daniel. Her shoulders are relaxed and she's smiling.
Where do you want to go now? How about somewhere where it never rains?
Daniel retorts with a toothless grin and giggle. See.